So after now finishing this, I kind of just want to break down these scenarios. I kind of want to go through these and rank them a little bit because so the first one was a 6-6 and this was a 6-4. The middle one was a 5-3, right? That actually might be somewhat accurate, right? So we had we must away their break of day. I feel like this one was really tough with those where they have trolls, right? The 3 trolls or whatever it was. That one was insane, that quest. So I feel like that quest was pretty good. But I felt like it was tough with the different skills each of them had, right? Each one, it felt like there was just so many limitations of what you could do with it being out there and engaged with you. So I would actually say that this one might, I think this one would actually be harder than this one I just did. That's my gut feeling on that. I don't know if you all agree with that. But my gut says that simply because of how hard the trolls are and how much extra stuff they do. Yeah, I couldn't gang attack. You could not gang attack. It was Willem, troll enemies. Okay, so engagement costs were 23. So you're basically engaged with Bert, which you can't put attachment cards on troll enemies. All right, regardless. After Bert engages the player, you sack 1. Return Bert to the staging area unless you do raise your threat. He's a 3/5/2 with 10 health. Oh, there's Bert. You can do him. Yeah, so Bert engages, does the whole sack thing, which was terrible. Cannot put attachment cards, so we couldn't do something cool like we did with Forest Snare, right? Completely stops Forest Snare from happening. Then we return him, whatever. So he's like the most normal, but still tough. Tom was the next one. And Tom was the one that limited the 1 character attack. So you almost want to kind of go for Tom first, right? But you have to still deal with Bert. The only upside of that is when you do the last one, William. Again, 2 defense, 12 health. Sack 2, which stinks. It's 38 for threat. I feel like he's the one that can be ganged up on and be focused on everyone else first, but still, it's not even that great. You have to get 1 dedicated attacker and a few sneak attack. Seriously, I mean, you're right, Lord. That's honestly, like, looking back, I should have built it 3 sneak attacks, 3 Gandalfs, right? Just playing that hard. Get Steward of Gondor out there, obviously, so I can afford everything. And going kind of off of that. And you're right, just have 1 attack. It would be nice. Again, I restricted myself with the heroes from this first box, right? They're all from this first Hobbit box. Like Gimli would have been really nice to have. I think someone in Discord, maybe someone in the chat here was talking about Dane. Focus on Tom first. Yeah, you really need to. I mean, even though you're gonna be dealing with 2 trolls at once, essentially, you kind of need to deal with them. And you're right. So sneak attack with Gandalf, because it what 4 damage coming out, and then you could swing for 4. Or defend with 4. Well, you could probably sneak attack, then attack with 4. You could do 8. So 4. So that'd be 6 out of 10. That's not bad. And you could force snare. That's another good point too. If you take out Bert first, you could force snare William after he engages you. That's something. That's not a bad idea. And then this way, focus on Tom next. And I think that was my other problem too. Is I think tactics is something that had to be used in this box. I feel like a non-tactics deck that I built doesn't work. I don't think that works. I think I would have had to have built that out a bit. So okay, looking back, if I was to replay this, 4 snares, sneak attack Gandalfs, and a tactic sphere is what I would do. I think that would have been the better way to go, and stack one of my heroes with attachments, my tactics hero in general, right? Probably, if I'm not doing a complete dwarf deck again, if I'm doing dwarf, Gimli. If I'm not doing dwarf, maybe even Legolas, right? If I'm just pulling from early cards, just to get the two quest points out there each time, because all 3 of these I felt like had a ton of just minions I was dealing with. All right, so we must away break a day. I'm gonna say it's the second hardest one. I'm going to say is right in the middle of this pack, of this box. Second hardest one. I think it gets close to the hardest, but I think if you build the deck the way we said, I actually don't think it's going to be that hard. Rethinking all this stuff. Because honestly, too, you could build it with Gimli that swings hard and just put 2 hobbits in there to keep your threat super low, right? Super low, so you can pick and choose when you fight everything. And that was the tough part with this quest, right? With Dungeons Deep and Caverns Dim, was everything's a 30 or lower. And I'm starting 29. 29. So that's just nuts. So, all right. That was that. So over the Misty Mountains Grim, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought this was going to be harder than it was because of the Stone Giants. And the first round was just bad because I didn't know what I was doing. That's just my bad. The second round is when we got all the Stone Giants and we were able to handle them. Which I kind of like the idea of. I like the idea of these Stone Giants. I think they're pretty cool. Discarding the ally thing is kind of stinks, but I think it's pretty good. I think it was a good quest overall. You still need a good amount of points, right? So the first one was just kind of a whatever quest. Next one, you got the Stone Giant right away. Add the staging area, then shuffle the encounter deck, reveal 1 card per player. So I remember it started off tough, and I just had to weather that storm, and I didn't do that the first time. And then after that, you basically quest hard. You just hope for the best. And you reveal a lot of encounter cards. I kind of like that. I kind of liked that quest. It was a little easy. It was tough for us just because we got a bad draw of Stone Giants. But that was a pretty fun quest. If I remember correctly, the Stone Giants, though, were kind of the only tough thing in there. I feel like, or we got lucky. We got a lucky draw and there wasn't a ton of other things. Oh, the Great Goblin. That's right. We punched him fast. Wait, this looks like Nightmare. Doesn't look like the right Great Goblin. There he is. Yeah, the Nightmare Great Goblin. That'd be fun. I have to do this again. Nightmare. That's something to do too. See how that goes. But the Great Goblin, we smacked hard really fast, which was great. Did a great job controlling him in the game. So I felt pretty good about him. I liked that whole scenario. I think that one might have been the most fun, but it wasn't that challenging. This one that I just did, I think it was hard because I should have went harder on the main 1B quest, right? Because again, I thought the riddles was going to be tougher than it was. And it was hard, sure. But I thought riddles was going to be more to it. And I thought when I got my deck down to that 25-ish cards left, and I really didn't know what was going to happen, I got a little worried. When I was able to look at my deck to search for the other character in there, it was nice because I could just see what I had and what I didn't have, right? I counted 5 attachments for 8 cards. So it would have been nice right there at the end. I could have gotten a bunch of points or a bunch of quest points basically that way. So I think it would have been smart to focus in on questing hard, especially in the beginning. Because I felt like I got slightly behind and I just kept drawing enemies. So that was the other thing that was annoying with that one. Is just because I wasn't tactics, I felt slightly behind the whole time. I felt like I could never really attack that hard, which kind of stunk. I really didn't enjoy that, but oh well. I'd probably say this is the hardest. I felt like you had to be very balanced. In the first 2 scenarios, you leaned on Bilbo a lot, I feel like. I kind of worked a lot with Bilbo to see how good he would be or wouldn't be. And you got used to that, right? You got used to questing the one, using the resources. Like, you got used to all that stuff. It wasn't there. It hurt. So I think, even though it's ranked lower, I actually think this would be slightly harder than We Must Away or Break a Day. That's my rationale. For those that are watching now, let me know if you agree. Number 1 difficulty, Dungeons Deep. Number 2, We Must Away. Number 3, Over the Misty Mountains. That's my rough idea of what I think would be difficulty level. Last thing I really want to do really fast, just talk about my heroes really quick, because these are the first times I really played them. So last thing is these heroes, and I thought they were not bad. I remember people saying that the Hobbit hero boxes were not great, so I went in with super low expectations. Now, actually, let's do Thorn first. I think Thorn's my favorite. I like Thorn a lot. A 3/3/1/5, and he gets extra resources if there's 5. Honestly, I think he's legit good. But Thorn I liked. Thorn I liked a lot. I would see Thorn going into a lot of dwarf decks. I think he'd be good in general to have in one of those decks. I liked him. I was a big fan of Thorn. Let's see, what's the other one I got? Nori here. Nori's not bad. It was nice to be able to try to keep my threat down with him, but a 2/1/2, 4 life, I don't know. Not bad, but it felt a little rough. He's probably a little bit ahead of Ori. Ori, I felt like was my weak link a lot of times because I can't ever really defend with him. Right? I can't ever defend with Ori. That's my biggest thing. And you're right. His threat is high at 12. Thorn's threat is high at 12. That is rough to deal with. You know, generally, right, you only want one of your heroes in double digits. So the one that's in the double digits, it's got to be someone really good. And I think he's right there. He's not top tier, but I think he's right there. I always wanted to use him with Dane, but the threat was outrageous. Yeah. Ooh. What is Dane? 11. Yeah. 23 with just 2. Oh, that'd be rough. That's just rough thinking about it. So, yeah, I think I like Nori a little bit more than Ori. I wish... I don't think there was really another option, right? Because there's Beorn and the 3 of them. Yeah, there's only 4 heroes in this box. And Bilbo. I guess there's only 4 heroes in the next box, too. I'd probably say Nori is the next best after Thorn. Thorn was just so good. Nori I liked. So yeah, I'm going to say top tier Thorn. Nori's next just because of defense. And then reducing of the threat was useful. It was really useful. And then Ori. Poor Ori. He was okay. If I was to replay this, I honestly would have done it with Beorn. And then just worked harder to have more dwarves out there. Because most of the time I had like 6 or 7 dwarves anyway. So it wasn't as hard to get to 5. I got to 5 a lot quicker. But if I was to redo this, I'm only using heroes from this front box. I would probably get rid of Nori. It stinks because I use a decent amount of spirit cards, right? Some of them are pretty good. But I use Beorn, and he would just be my heavy attacker. And you know, I can't put any attachments on, which stinks, but figure it out. But yeah, overall, you know what? Again, I know a lot of people give the Hobbit boxes, you know, some not great reviews, and I don't know, liked it more than Shadows of Mirkwood. Say that much. I mean, Shadows is fine, but I think I liked it more than that. The Black Riders, it's maybe as good as that, right? Black Riders is good for story, but the story was definitely a bit weaker in the Hobbit. But I mean, as far as the quests go, I thought they were average. I thought they were pretty good. I don't think it really competes against any of those cycles except for the Voice of Isengard's, in my opinion. Or not Voice of Isengard. Yeah, the Rainmaker cycle is the worst one in my opinion. But other than that, I mean, it's fine. So